Thank you for joining us. I'm Gretchen Ross. A car crashes into a power pole this afternoon in Chesterfield, causing a traffic nightmare for drivers.
All right, John, thanks so much. Well, a Richmond resident comes home to find that someone used their kitchen and their bathroom.
Sounds bizarre, right? Richmond police are investigating that very case near VCU. 8 News reporter Gretchen Ross is in our digital center with the details. Gretchen?
Juan Constance, bizarre is right. I talked with several folks who described their stretch of West Gray Street as quiet and quaint, just a nice block. They tell me they're surprised by the situation and they are taking precautions before they become the next victim.
I like the block. It's pretty.
For many who call West Gray Street home, the historic buildings and proximity to downtown were selling points for the neighborhood. But they stay on the lookout for crime.
We do have quite a few people that go through our trash because there's a lot of apartments back here, so a lot of people like share our alley, so they'll just like throw furniture and all kinds of stuff, so people like to dig through that.
VCU police say yesterday someone reported their home on West Grace was broken into over the weekend. They found a back door unlocked with the window smashed. Nothing was reported stolen, but it looked like the bedroom and kitchen had been used.
Maybe somebody just wanted to get out of the heat. It's been really hot lately and muggy, so someone maybe just didn't have a place to go and just was like, hey, let me just pop a squat here and cool off for a little bit. Maybe they had good snacks.
For residents, it's a reminder to always lock their house and car and take extra precautions before leaving for a few days.
Someone definitely knows the person who lives there, if they know when they're at the house, when they're not at the house.
For Ellen Lee, who tells me she's been robbed 5 times, this case hits close to home.
You bring all of your valuable items up to your bedroom and you lock your bedroom.
Police reminding you again to lock all your doors and windows. Don't post on social media when you will be away from your home. Make sure all the trees and shrubs around your house are trimmed so potential thieves can't find a place to hide. For more tips, just head to our website, WRIC.com. In the Digital Center, Gretchen Ross, 8 News.
All right, Gretchen, thanks.
Now on the weather where you live, and check in with Storm Tracker 8 meteorologist Travis Michaels has a look for us now at our forecast. A pretty nice Saturday, all things considered. Welcome back from Gretchen Ross. A North Carolina woman is defending using a racial slur towards women at a restaurant, saying she'd use it again. It was caught on cell phone video. It's gone viral. Sarah Kruger has the story.
Well, immigrants living in the U.S. illegally are now facing thousands of dollars in fines.
A woman from Honduras living at a Richmond church received a fine last month, and with no means to pay, she's afraid for her family's future. 8 News reporter Gretchen Ross spoke to that woman and joins us in the digital center with where her case stands now. Gretchen?
Juan Constance, for over a year, Abby Arevalo Herrera has stayed at the First Unitarian Universalist Church in Richmond with her 2 children. Now, last month, she received a notice of a fine from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement for close to $300,000. With the deadline looming to respond to that notice, she fears that she'll be deported to Honduras.
The congregants of this church and people of Richmond community have helped me a lot.
For over a year, Abby Arevalo Herrera and 2 of her children have stayed at the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond seeking asylum.
Some days are quiet. And I try to spend them with my children, with my family.
She fled her home of Honduras in 2013 with her daughter, headed to America.
I understand that we are exposing ourselves to many dangers.
Arevalo Herrera says she was a victim of domestic violence for 8 years.
I felt terrorized.
As she crossed the border with her daughter, the 2 were caught by patrol agents.
I needed to protect my life.
Before Arevalo Herrera was sent to a shelter and made her way to Virginia, she was given the notice to appear in court, but it left out the date and time. Domestic violence is no longer accepted in the U.S. for asylum. Facing deportation, Arevalo Herrera made her way to this church in Richmond last summer.
Some days are quiet. And I try to spend them with my children, with my family.
Last month, she received this notice of a $295,000 fine.
At the beginning, I could not even believe the amount of money that they were asking me to pay.
Arevalo Herrera's attorney has until Friday to appeal that fine.
Arevalo Herrera is also waiting on a possible visa and says her first attorney failed to attach an asylum application to her motion to reopen her case. It was denied. Now, ICE says fines started last December and are set at $799 a day. In the Digital Center, Gretchen Ross, 8 News.
Full of days.
Okay, we'll take it though. It's been nice.
It has. I got a mean tan out there.
You have.
Camp.
You can't tell. He has a really nice
We're
tan.
working on it this summer, boys and girls.
Yeah. Post a couple selfies. All right, we'll see you at 11.
Regional Edward R. Murrow Award winners for breaking news and overall excellence. 8 News starts now.
Starting with breaking news here at 11, I'm Gretchen Ross. At least 5 people are hurt in a shooting at the Garlic Festival. This is in California. Now, that's according to a hospital spokesperson. This happened in Gilroy. That's near San Jose. This is video from the scene when gunshots were heard. Details are limited right now, but police are still on scene. We are working to find out if this was an active shooter or an isolated incident. Please stay with 8 News for any updates. And in Chesterfield, a plane crashes at the airport, shutting down the runway for hours while crews cleaned it up. 8 News reporter Nick Canigliaro is live with the latest and exactly what happened. Nick. At 11, a missing 2-year-old boy's body has been found. Aiden Salito went missing after his parents were found in a murder-suicide. Police believe they found Aiden's body in a remote area earlier today in Montana. Police say witnesses and tips led them to that body. No word yet on his exact cause of death. And a pro surfer gets bit by a shark in Florida, and part of it is caught on video. We want to warn you, some of this video may be disturbing. Now, this happened in Jacksonville and a surf camera on the beach. It's blurry, but the surfer is struggling with the shark in the water. The shark bit him on his elbow. Someone on the beach also saw the whole encounter happen.
He was right there behind the wave, and boom, that's when he got hit, and you could see the shark's tail splashing. It like knocked him off his board.
The surfer was treated by paramedics for that bite, expected to be okay. He says it won't stop him from hitting the waves. And in Hopewell, several crews went to rescue 2 people from the James River. Investigators say a couple was testing a boat around 7 last night. The current sent them around near Hopewell and Prince George. The boat was anchored overnight. The couple will pick that boat up either today or tomorrow. And Richmond police are looking for 2 people that broke into a home near VCU and held the residents at gunpoint. Now, this all happened around 3:45 yesterday afternoon on Catherine Street. Investigators say that the suspects knocked on the door and showed a gun when the victim answered. They stole cash and a cell phone. Suspects left on bikes. You can find full suspect description on our website, WRIC.com.
Top stories and your Storm Tracker 8 weather in the first 8 minutes. 8 News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to 8 News at 11. I'm Gretchen Ross. It's been a month since a car plowed into a crowd of people outside of a Richmond club, killing 1 woman and injuring several others. Shortly before 2 in the morning on June 26th, several people were hit by a car at the intersection of 17th and Main Streets. 22-year-old Shanice Woodbury died from her injuries. Richmond police believe Shayna Harris is the person responsible for that hit and run. She is now facing several charges. And tonight, one of the victims in that hit and run is home from the hospital with her family. Brittany Summers, a single mother of 3, talks with 8 News about her road to recovery.
It's very scary. I mean, I'm glad I'm alive.
About a month ago, Brittany Summers was leaving a club in Shunko Bottom when she says she was hit by a car at the intersection of 17th and Main Streets.
To go get food, and I don't remember anything that happened. Like, I see myself walking around, and then, you know, of course I know I had the injury, but I don't remember any of it.
Summers was rushed to VCU Medical Center where she spent a week recovering from swelling and bleeding on the brain.
I didn't understand I was as bad off as I was, so I was kind of like, I'm fine, I want to go.
Doctors have told Summers she's recovering faster than they expected, but she's still feeling the effects of the hit and run.
And I've been getting a lot of headaches, which has been more so like when I wake up and stuff, they hurt the most. And my wrist has been hurting.
Summers says she wasn't acquainted with Shayna Harris, who is facing several charges in the hit and run.
And just knowing that she hurt that, you know, that poor girl the first time, and then she got out the car, and then that's when she ended up hurting everyone else.
As she continues to heal, Summers thinks often about Shanice Woodbury, who was killed that night at the end of June, and the others who were injured.
My injury is going to take time, and hopefully, you know, it does heal. You know, it's kind of just traumatic thinking that that would even happen, you know.
Shayna Harris is facing 5 felony charges, including a first-degree murder charge in the death of Woodbury. Harris remains behind bars after her bond was denied earlier this month. Now, 8 News uncovered that Harris has an extensive criminal history and was sheltered before family helped her move to Virginia. She was given a notice to appear in court, but it left out a date and time. The U.S. no longer allows domestic violence as a reason for asylum. Facing deportation, she sought asylum here at the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond.
Necesitaba proteger mi vida. I needed to protect my life.
Her husband Elmer, a permanent resident, visits the church often to see Abby and their child together. Last month, Rivera Herrera received this fine from ICE for more than $295,000.
At the beginning, I could not even believe the amount of money that they were asking me to pay.
Her attorney has until Friday to appeal the fine. She's also waiting for a visa and for her case to be reopened. Her attorney tells me the appeal for the fine could end up before the Immigration Board of Appeals and potentially federal court. ICE says fines started last December and are set at $799 a day. In the Digital Center, Gretchen Ross, 8 News.